Good morning, everybody. This is Imaginary Dreams, and I did not expect to make a new video after the February event so soon. But this video is for a different event. It's for this art jam by the streamer Silicon, or his full name in his Twitch channel, Bleach. And there are many other streamers who are part of this event, such as GrigoriyPeppo, and he's the streamer that I knew this event for, usually watches him most of the time. Another guy named Kurayami, Russel Stewart, and Pinky Poxy. And these are sort of the streamers that are sort of a part of this event and promoting it. But SiliconBleach is the guy who's sort of the host and has made a few of these art jams in the past. And what are art jams? Basically, it's just an event where people just post their art, no matter how skillful. It's all for fun and to meet other people, meet other artists, exchange art basically, and exchange of ideas based off a common theme per event. And this is like the third event based on clarity, and so I will go through the first one, since I think, or I've heard, that it's supposed to be one after the other, so they're all sort of connected like a story, a 3-act structure. So the first one is supposed to be called Touch, the second one is called Metamorphosis, and then the third one, the current one right now, is called Clarity. And so clarity, as they explain it, and the entire theme, I'll read it to you. The topic of the third art jam concludes a trilogy from touch to change growth, which leads to clarity. This process mirrors in everything. First and foremost, it is a reference to how we connect with each other as a community and learn and inspire each other to grow. Thus, with the first topic, touch, we describe the meeting of souls and minds. With the second topic, metamorphosis, change and growth, we inspire and learn from each other. And sometimes in between the learning and the struggling, we are likely enough to encounter moments of clarity, where the air feels fresh and we feel like we can breathe easily and see things from a new perspective, a new level of consciousness. Please don't let this explanation influence, and that's a few instructions for the artist who might take up the theme, to also be free with their artwork. And as I hear Peppo's explanation and showing of this event, this image really came to mind, like sort of inspiration. I didn't take too much thought, the basic premise, and at this point I will sort of try to show you an image of the first sketch I have done, and this one is on A4 paper, and by the time I was done with it, I almost felt like this could have been posted as it is, but I wanted to do sort of a full large A3, and this is a little bit wider than a common A3, but it's one of those sort of drawing art papers that I have, and wanted to just make a full size of it as sort of a personal challenge as well. And so the first thought was simply a person embracing another who's coming out of a mirror, and as I start to draw, things the mirror doesn't really look like a mirror, and so themes and ideas starts to change. The original premise was supposed to be the idea that we see ourselves like in the mirror, and we would have to sort of embrace who we are and the things we see within ourselves as a sort of self-confidence kind of thing. One must be like self-confident before we can embark and tackle other problems within the world kind of way. But in this case, instead of just having a full mirror and we just see the reflection of the guy, let's just make it into a woman in the sense of the inner femininity of the person, and for the opposite gender it can be a reverse where the female sees their inner masculinity and strength, and they too need to sort of somewhat embrace that side of them. But with the hand sort of tearing out the heart of the person, it sort of represents the idea that the heart does not entirely mean that we lose ourselves, and that the mind is what keeps us clear, and it's the machine that allows us to think clearly. That other people might try to strike you in the heart, but it's the mind that protects us mentally and emotionally to outsiders attacked. And if we are clear to what we see within ourselves, then things would be all right. But as things change, and I suppose now that I'm explaining it, and the object that I was trying to draw was a mirror, it could maybe work. So yeah, that's sort of like the first intentions of the idea, but in the end I couldn't really figure out how I would want to draw a mirror, and so it just became and slowly turned out to be a portal instead. And once again, the doodles all around the figure has to look a little bit more like it's not from the real world dimension, a little bit more abstract area. And talking with a few friends and getting some feedback, to them it also looks as if the idea where one's love doesn't come from the heart actually, but again comes from the mind and the actions that people act upon every single day. That even if his heart is ripped out of him, either from whatever reason, from a fellow other person that wants his love, or someone else might have broken such trust, it's once again the mind that it and actions of a person that shows one's dedication to the relationship of like a couple. And everything again comes from sort of the mind. It might be a little bit edgy, that people always like to say, oh, love is a chemical reaction in the brain. That's not really the purpose. In this case, it's more about that we and our thinking makes decisions and actions, and it's those actions that then proves whether or not we truly do love someone or not, even though we might have good intentions for that person. Of course, in a sense of some deeper meaning, that one's heart may feel certain things, like having butterflies in our sort of bellies or stomachs. In this case, it doesn't really mean much when in long term it takes sort of a strong mind and strong will to stay dedicated to a relationship long term and monogamy, basically. And here, even though she's coming out from a portal, it sort of shows that they might be in a long distance relationship, very far apart, and that one strong will could still sort of fight through and stay sort of honest and dedicated to the other person, either being able to wait or somehow still stay connected. Even though we're in a world that sort of could connect people together through online and chatting, it's a little strange but very understandable of how people still sort of cheat, even though they could just very well have online calls and chat to each other when they are far apart. And to those who actually succeed in long distance relationship, sometimes these video calls are what makes things work. And when they call each other, it does feel as if they are together right next to each other, when in fact they're actually very far apart or a half a world away. But with that sort of said, I think I'm gonna end this sort of commentary here. And maybe it sounds a little cheesy, I suppose, but you know, it is what it is. And I'll leave you in the comment sections to what you think of the story behind this sort of drawing, and certainly hope you enjoyed the process of creating it. And I hope to see you all next time. Bye for now.